Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Ashes with Alexis Renee. I am your host. Today is episode 3 on Author's Corner. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being patient with me as I was busy traveling and filming in the Carolinas and Texas. And then I had to get gallbladder surgery, so I had to take a little pause on Author's Corner. So I really appreciate that. If this is your first time listening, Author's Corner is where I take you behind the pages of my books. We talk about why I wrote them, who they're for, and the hope I pray readers find in with them. For today's episode, the title is The Stories Behind Two Journals of Hope and Healing. Today I'm going to do something a little different. Instead of focusing on one book, I'm going to talk about these two journals. They are incredibly close to my heart because they were created for people walking through some of life's deepest pain. The first is A Parent Silent Grief Journal, Embracing the Journey of Love. The second is From Brokenness to Redemption, a journal of healing, hope, and resilience from abuse. While these journals are written for different journeys, they both share the same message. Healing is possible, hope still exists, and God has not abandoned you. Why I created these journals. One thing I've learned through my own life is that healing isn't a straight line. Some days you feel strong, other days, simply getting out of bed is a victory. There are moments when words are hard to find, prayers feel impossible, and emotions become overwhelming. Sometimes we don't need another person to tell us what we should feel. Sometimes we just need a safe place to let our heart speak. That's why I created these journals. Not because they have all the answers, but because I wanted to create space for people to process, reflect, pray, and begin taking small steps toward healing. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I gotta take a drink of water. And if you can see, the camera's not on. I'm still recovering from surgery, and I honestly have been having days where I'm doing good and some days where I'm struggling. And right now I am struggling. And because I have POTS, it makes me even more dizzy. But it's okay. God's got me through, and we'll be okay. Okay. So I want to begin with my first journal, A Parent Silent Grief. There is grief that many people don't know how to talk about, and that is the grief of losing a child. Whether that loss comes through a miscarriage, stillbirth, infant loss, the death of a child, or losing an adult son or daughter, the pain does not simply disappear with time. Parents often feel like the world keeps moving while their own world has completely changed. This journal was created to remind grieving parents that it is okay to grieve. It is okay to remember. It is okay to cry. It's okay to write down memories, prayers, questions, and moments that still matter. And with this journal, because sometimes we just journal, and then there's some of us that struggle where to start, where to journal. So throughout this journal, there's sections in there if you just want to color or doodle. There's parts where there's questions to help you process your emotions. There is scripture, there's verses to remind, just to try and bring light and hope and their memory. Um, so it's not just like a journal where you open it and it's blank pages and you just write in it. There are different questions in there to help you process your emotions. Um, Grief isn't something you get over. You're always going to grieve them. You're always going to think about them. There's going to be days where you think of them more than others, the what ifs, the memories. And it's you just don't get over it. You just don't. It's something you learn to carry with God's help, one day at a time. Psalms 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. I love that verse because it doesn't say God only comes after we've healed. It says he's close while we're hurting. This one was really close to me because back in 2018, I had just found out I was pregnant in August of 2018. Was actually caught off guard. I was not trying, I was not expecting it. But you know what? I was like, I was pregnant. This is a gift and blessing from God, no matter how it came about. And it was very, very unexpected. So December 5th of 2018 would have been my other daughter's birthday. And on the December 6th of 2018, we had a birthday party, and I remember getting this beautiful, beautiful outfit set. One was for the baby that was in my belly, my little girl, my daughter, because I just found out on December 4th that we were having a girl. December 5th, it was my daughter's birthday, so the 6th we celebrated. And we were celebrating, everything was fine. I kind of felt off, but I didn't want to tell anyone. I was like, wow, I haven't really felt her kick. But my ex-sister-in-law gave me this outfit and it was a cute set and I still have it actually in my I had a matching outfit for my daughter so I could have their first matching outfit. And I was like, man, I haven't really felt her. And then December 7th comes around. I'm like, I still haven't felt her. And then the 8th, and I just kind of brushed it off. And then on the 12th, I was supposed to go to work. The hospital I was at was like an hour drive away. And my daughter ended up puking and having the flu. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should take her in. Maybe I'll go and drive an hour away. And then they can just check me out as well and just check on the baby. And I'll never forget um, getting to Alameda Health Hospital. It used to be called something else, but they changed the name. And I remember getting there. They're taking care of her. And I went and I said, I just want to check on the baby. I haven't felt her kick. I'm pretty sure something is wrong. And mind you, we had just had an ultrasound and everything looked fine. She was fine. She was healthy. Her heartbeat was beating. There was nothing wrong. We had just found out what she was. Um, and they did an ultrasound. And I remember this look. And I looked at her and I said, she's gone. And she's like, I don't know for sure. Let me go check. Like I could tell she was nervous. She didn't want to tell me. So she wanted to grab somebody else. And I was just like, I knew she was gone. I knew she was. I think I was in denial. And so maybe if I don't know, but I just knew it. And here comes this other ultrasound tech. And I kid you not. I really love Grey's Anatomy. I'm not into it as much as it used to. I kind of feel like it's kind of outrun its time. No offense, Grey's Anatomy people. But Teddy, the one that plays Teddy. I'm kidding you. I kid you not. This ultrasound tech comes in. I'm like, wow, you look like Teddy from Grey's Anatomy. I mean, it could have been her twin. And then she starts talking. And I'm like, wow, you even have her voice. And I don't know. I felt like maybe God knew that I had Grey's Anatomy and it was like my comfort to bring me peace. And I don't know why, but I just felt peace with her. And I was like, you know what? I'm calm. Even if she's gone, she's my support. And she puts the ultrasound on, and I look at her and I said, she's gone. And she's like, yeah, she is gone. And I said, yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, um, it was really, really hard. Um, the dad of the baby was actually in college and taking finals. And I had a friend who came in with me to take me, and I'll never forget her. I'm glad my friend was there with me. We're not friends anymore, but I'm glad she was there with me because I don't think I would have been able to have gone through that without her. And she was always there for me when at appointments and different things like that. But I ended up having to text the dad and be like, hey, I need you to call me. And he's in the middle of final. And I ended up having to tell him over the phone, like, hey, I just need to let you know, like, I lost her and I'm going to have to deliver her, but there's no heartbeat. Um, Sorry, someone just messaged me, so I had to message them back. And I'm just like, there's no heartbeat. And that destroyed him. It was really, really hard. It was a hard process. They wanted me to prep and deliver all that right now. I'm like, I can't. I said, I need to go to the family, his side of family, because I didn't have family down there. They're all back home. And I was like, I need to go to them and I need to let them know, like, hey, what's going on. And so um, I go and I go and I'm like, "Hi guys," and they're like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And everybody was there. My ex mother-in-law and my ex sisters. I have three sister-in-laws and brother-in-law. Honestly, they're still family. I still call them. They're still my sisters and brother. Let's just be honest. Um, and I was like, guys, Anastasia's gone. That's what we ended up naming her, Anastasia Rose. And I was like, she's gone. And I have to go back and deliver her right now. And it was devastating. But let me tell you, I still call her mom now. We have a better relationship after processing through things. Thank goodness for the forgiveness and healing of Jesus, or else we probably wouldn't have a relationship to this day. And I was like, look, mom, and she's like, I'll be with her. She was there to help me deliver my other daughter. And she's great at it. She should have been like, oh, a midwife or something, 'cause she is so good at keeping you calm and going through the process of delivery. So that night of the 12th, I get set in and I get in, and here comes the dad after driving. He's just a mess about it. It was really heartbreaking. I was too, but I don't know. It's like God gave me the strength to just remember he was with me and he brought, but it was really hard. I mean, I did cry, obviously. It was hard. I think I had a harder time the next morning. I think I was so focused on like, oh, I have to deliver her. I have to push her out. I need to go through that because it's not fun. It's not easy. I mean, it can be a lot of pain. I was blessed. I got to still do a water birth. But I remember my mother-in-law, her friend was working that night. And actually, I didn't know this because they have to dilate you. Like she had to come in and help with that every 2 hours. And by that next morning, I actually graduated. It was December 13th, 2018. I had just graduated with my associate's degree in early childhood. Yes. And I was supposed to, because I was doing it online. So, and it was time to push, and I got to push her in a water birth. And it was really hard. Very blessed though. The funeral home took care of the ashes. Someone actually paid for the urn. And they had a photographer come in and take photos. And so it was really hard though, because I did not know this, but when you just gave birth to a baby, so you still have breast milk that came in, and I think that's when the emotions really hit me. Um, yeah, it was, I think of her still to this day. She would be 7 years old. And what's crazy is God brought healing. I do have a son now, and he was born in June. And I just learned this last year. I was curious what his birth flower was, and long and behold, his birth flower is a rose. My daughter's middle name was Rose, so I thought that was kind of cool. Um, but I'm always grieving her. It doesn't just go away, but with God's strength, it has surely helped. So, that is the meaning behind this journal and the previous book that I talked about, Mommyhood at its Finest, because I do mention that in that poem book as well as Unbearable Loss and Redemption. Okay, so my second journal, From Brokenness to Redemption. This journal was written for survivors, for those who have experienced abuse, whether that abuse was emotional, physical, sexual, spiritual, verbal, mental. Those wounds often last long after the abuse ends. Now, before I continue, I want to say something. I feel like a lot of people compare. Oh, I was in this abusive relationship and it was physical and it was sexual. Oh, but I'm in another abusive relationship. Oh, at least it's not physical. At least it's not sexual. It's just verbal. It is still abuse and it's still not okay. Healing is not forgetting what happened. Healing is learning that what has happened to you doesn't define who you are. One of the biggest lies survivors hear is that they're damaged beyond repair, but I don't believe that's true. And you know what? Not just me, it's not true. God restores, He redeems, He brings beauty from the ashes. This journal was written to help give readers space to process their story, reflect on their emotions, write prayers, and begin replacing lies with truth. With this journal, it is also a journal where it has questions to help you process the emotions. It has verses in there to help bring you hope and light. They're both very similar. It's just reflecting on a different topic. So these journals focus on different experiences. They have something important in common. Both were written for people carrying heavy burdens. And the reason behind it too is because I was big on journaling and just writing. And I was like, some people are really great at it and it helps them, but some of them don't know how to start. And that's why I created these journals. Both remind us that healing takes time. Both encourage honesty instead of pretending everything is okay. And both point readers back to the one who never leaves us. Sometimes healing starts with a conversation. Sometimes it starts with counseling. Sometimes it starts with prayer. And sometimes it starts with putting pen to paper. If you're listening today and either of these journeys describe your life, I want you to hear this. Your pain matters. Your story matters. You are not weak because you're grieving. You are not broken beyond repair because someone hurt you. There is hope. Healing may not happen overnight, but every small step forward matters. God still sees you. God still loves you. And your story isn't over. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today on Author's Corner. If you ever think either of these journals could encourage you or someone you love, I pray they become a place where healing begins, one page at a time. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love if you'd follow the podcast, share this episode with someone who might need it, and leave a review. It truly helps more people discover these conversations. Until next time, remember this: no matter what you've been through, God is still writing your story, and there is always hope beyond the ashes. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of Author's Corner.